Imagine growing up in a house where every single day felt like walking through a battlefield, and the enemy was your own mother, her weapon, words sharp enough to cut through your soul. But one day, I decided I wasn't going to be her target anymore. And my revenge? Let's just say it left a really bad taste in her mouth. If you've ever been pushed so far by someone that you dream of the perfect way to get back at them, hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready. Because this story isn't just about surviving abuse. It's about serving a plate of justice with a side of poetic payback. From the outside, my home looked normal. White picket fence, well-trimmed hedges, and the smell of fresh laundry always hanging in the air. But step inside and you'd hear it, the constant hum of tension, the sharp snap of criticism, the way my mother's voice could turn a sunny day into a thunderstorm. She wasn't just strict. She was relentless. Her words weren't lessons. They were landmines. You're useless. You'll never amount to anything. You make my life harder just by existing. And when I was a kid, I believed her. I thought I was broken, unworthy, defective. Every morning started the same way. She'd find something, anything, to pick at. If I forgot to wash a cup, I was lazy. If my grades were a single point less than perfect, I was pathetic. And she didn't just say these things. She enjoyed it. I could see it in her eyes. The flicker of satisfaction when I'd flinch, when my shoulders curled in, when my voice trembled. It's a special kind of cruelty to find joy in your own child's pain. By the time I was a teenager, I had learned to tune her out most days. But one night, after she spent an hour berating me for not folding laundry correctly, something inside me snapped. I remember thinking, she gets to say whatever she wants. She gets to make me feel like nothing. And she'll never face consequences. I wasn't planning anything at first, but anger has a way of simmering into something more. That thought burned in me for days. Deliberate. The idea came to me in the middle of one of her tirades. She was yelling about how I'd left crumbs on the counter. I glanced over at her toothbrush in the bathroom, and something dark clicked in my mind. If her mouth was going to be the source of all this filth, then maybe it deserved to meet some real filth. It started small. Every time she tore into me with her venom, I'd wait until she wasn't looking, slip into the bathroom, and take her toothbrush. And then I'd scrub the inside of the toilet bowl. Not just once, not just twice, but every single time she crossed the line. It became my own secret rebellion. She'd throw verbal punches, and I'd strike back quietly, invisibly. And every morning, she'd brush her teeth, completely unaware of what was clinging to those bristles. Weeks passed. My silent revenge became my little sanctuary of control. But then came the day when she went too far. She didn't just insult me. She tore apart my self-worth in front of relatives, laughing like it was all a joke. Something inside me snapped. That night, I walked straight into the kitchen where she was sipping tea and said, "You know, for weeks now, you've been brushing your teeth with, well, shit." She froze. Her cup trembled in her hands. I went on. "Every time you open your mouth to spit venom at me, I made sure you tasted exactly what you were talking about." Her face went pale, then red, then pale again. And then the meltdown began, screaming, gagging, accusing me of being insane. And I just stood there, calm, watching her finally get a taste of what she'd been serving me for years. As she stormed off to throw the toothbrush away, I called after her, "If you're going to talk so much shit, you might as well eat it too." For the first time in my life, I felt the scales tip in my favor. The satisfaction wasn't about being cruel. It was about reclaiming power. She had spent years making me feel powerless, trapped in her words. But that day, I reminded her that words have consequences. Now, years later, I wouldn't do something like that again. But I can't lie, at the time it felt like justice. Sometimes, when someone pushes you too far, the only way to survive is to fight back in a language they understand. If this story made you cheer even a little, smash that like button and subscribe for more real-life revenge tales. And tell me in the comments, has anyone ever pushed you so far that you became someone you didn't even recognize? I'll be reading your stories.